Hello Aquarius, my name is Keith Haswell and I'm a professional astrologer and with 40 years experience in the business, but I won't spend a great deal of time introducing myself because you've probably watched one of my videos already. I've got over 150 YouTube videos up there, more than 1/3 viewings of my videos collectively. And so you've probably seen one of those, and I welcome you to this particular video on your particular cycles, Aquarius, for May and June 2015. So just sit back and relax and enjoy the journey. You know, the age of Aquarius is upon us, and it's named after you because you are a very powerful person spiritually. You're very futuristic, strongly attracted towards the spiritual and mystical side of life. But you feel very different from everybody else, Aquarius. You've asked yourself many times, why am I so different from everybody else? You know, you are primarily, Aquarius, a spiritual being. You are not a human being in search of the spiritual. You are a spiritual being expressing your consciousness at the level called human. And there's many levels beyond the human level altogether. And you've brought yourself to this particular video because you're ready now, Aquarius, to make changes inside of yourself that you weren't ready to make perhaps even a month ago. So you're ready now to take a gigantic step forward in the expansion of your consciousness. All of us are in a giant spiritual classroom, Aquarius. And in that classroom we set up hurdles for ourselves and tests for ourselves. And through jumping those hurdles and overcoming those obstacles, we develop qualities, principles and values within ourselves, Aquarius, in which we lack. And that's what the name of the game is. We're all in this giant spiritual classroom. So what I'm going to do is to tell you what sort of hurdles and tests that you've set up for yourself in this particular period of May and June 2015. And what sort of hurdles that you set for yourself, what sort of obstacles that you've set up for yourself, what type of qualities, principles and values that you're trying to inveigle into your consciousness through those particular hurdles. And then I'm going to look at the joy. So first of all, there's the obstacles. They come from Mars and Saturn and the movement of Mars and Saturn through the houses of your horoscope. And then I'll look at the joy which comes from the Sun, Venus and Jupiter. And the joy is what you have coming to you as a result of your thinking processes and being on the right track with your soul. So just enjoy the journey here with me, Aquarius. I'm going to put it on a timeline for you, first with Mars and Saturn. And it's going to be on a timeline starting from the 1st of May. And on the 1st of May, Mars is in your 4th house, Aquarius. Now with Mars in the 4th house of your horoscope, there's a lot of tests there to do with family and the domestic side of life, matters relating to property and matters relating to parents. Okay, so there's a lot of extra energy introduced into the home and the family, so there's potential there for accidents in the home, conflicts and tensions with those who cohabitate with you in the home. And there's potential there for arguments and fights and things like that with parents if they play a prominent part in your life. So they're the sort of testing environments that you've set up for yourself in this particular 2-month period, starting with the 1st of May. Okay, now then Mars makes a change into a different house. On the 12th of May, Mars moves into the 5th house of your horoscope, Aquarius. With Mars in the 5th house of your horoscope, there's a lot of extra energy introduced into the area of children, romance, love, sexual expression, recreation and enjoyment, and the social side of your life. So therefore you can jump into a hasty relationship if you're in the market for a relationship based on impulse and perhaps physical attraction. There can be conflicts and tensions somehow through children, conflicts and tensions whilst out on social functions because there's a lot of extra energy that you're dealing with here during this particular phase. So for 2 or 3 weeks, Mars in the 5th house of your horoscope, you just got to try and make sure that relationships are not based on impulse and physical attraction alone, and that there's not impulsiveness with gambling or anything like that, not overdoing it on the social side of life, and that you're not too aggressive or dominant and assertive with your children, okay? There can be accidents involving children and stresses and tensions whilst out in restaurants and places of amusement and things like that with Mars in the 5th house of your horoscope. Now then, Mars moves into the 6th house of your horoscope on the 25th of June, and then for 2 or 3 weeks with Mars in the 6th house of your horoscope, there's a lot of extra energy, Aquarius, that's introduced into the work environment and to do with health and dietary matters. So there's conflicts and tensions potentially there with people that you work with. It's not a good time for job interviews generally. Job changes, no, because that can be based on impulse. And there can be accidents involving domestic pets and things like that with Mars in the 6th house of your horoscope. It's not good for health when Mars is in the 6th house of your horoscope, because you're likely to overdo it and have fevers and things like that, and you can overdo it. Try to not eat the wrong type of, especially too much spicy food and that sort of stuff during that time with Mars in the 6th house of your horoscope. And with people that you work with, try to deflect aggression on their part towards you, and by all means don't be aggressive towards co-workers. And it's not good for job interviews during that time. Now looking at Saturn for you, Aquarius, Saturn is in the 11th house of your horoscope during this entire 2-month period, and it's in a retrograde motion, which means that it's in an apparent backward motion in relation to the Earth's movement. And so that's a double whammy there, because Saturn is the embodiment of the law of economy. And what Saturn is trying to say to us always is that all time, energy and money that's connected with the house that I'm sitting in must be used wisely, economically, and in accordance with the law of economy, okay? So with Saturn being in the 11th house of your horoscope, there can be broken friendships, there can be unhappiness and sickness involving friends or the death of a friend. There's potential there for sickness involving other people's children, club activities and group social functions and social welfare interests and things like that can create obstacles and hurdles for you to jump over and so forth. So you've got to be very practical with regard to all time, energy and money that's expressed through club activities, group social functions, involvements with friends and things like that. Be very practical and down to earth, and things can work out okay for you. Now to look at the fun side of things and the joy side of things for you, Aquarius. We start off the 1st of May with the Sun in the 4th house of your horoscope. With the Sun in the 4th house of your horoscope, there's a focus of your personality upon domestic and family matters, and those who cohabitate with you in the home. Parents will perhaps play a more prominent part in your life socially with the Sun in the 4th house of your horoscope. It remains there until I tell you that it changes into another house. But there's generally a lot more social involvements around the home and with family with the Sun in the 4th house of your horoscope, okay? Now Venus is in the 5th house of your horoscope to start this month off with. And with Venus in the 5th house of your horoscope, it's very favourable through children, socially. It's very favourable through romance, love and the social side of life. If you're in the market for a relationship, then that's a good time to make yourself available, to get out there and mix and circulate and to express love on the social side of your life and attract somebody into your life through the power of that love. And with Venus in the 5th house, it makes you lucky with gambling and speculative things, and it also brings a lot of affection to you in the social side of life generally. So you go out to restaurants, have a great time with friends, a very loving time and so forth, and through children and lovers and so forth. So very good time for you there. Now Venus is the first one to make a change. On the 8th of May, Venus moves into the 6th house of your horoscope and remains there for 2 or 3 weeks. With Venus in the 6th house of your horoscope, it's a good time for job interviews. It's favourable for you to do with domestic pets, and it's favourable socially, Aquarius, through people that you work with. It's very beneficial for you. You'll probably be wanting to eat too much rich food during this time, but there's a great deal of love and affection coming from you to your workmates and from your workmates to yourself, and it's a very good time for you to socialise with people that you work with. Now then we look at the movement of the Sun on the 22nd of May. The Sun moves into the 5th house of your horoscope and remains there for 30 days, Aquarius. And with the Sun in the 5th house of your horoscope, there's a focus upon children. There's a lot of joy and happiness there through children. There's a focus upon the social and romantic side of your life if you're in the market for a relationship. And generally you'll want to be out and about to restaurants and places of amusement when the Sun is in the 5th house of your horoscope, okay? Now then we look to the next movement, which is Venus on the 6th of June moves into the 7th house of your horoscope. That's the house of partnerships and marriage and spouse and things like that. So if you've got a spouse, then there's a great deal of love coming to your partner from yourself, and from your partner to yourself. There's a great deal more social involvements out there with the general public, and it's a very good time to strengthen existing relationships if you don't have a strong one going at the moment. So for 2 or 3 weeks there's a desire to get out and about and circulate with the general public through public parades and shopping malls and things like that. And then the last one that we come to, Aquarius, is on the 22nd of June. The Sun moves into the 6th house of your horoscope and remains there for 30 days. With the Sun in the 6th house of your horoscope, there's a boost to your health. You'll have a lot more vitality. There's a focus upon the job, social activities with people that you work with, and it's a very favourable time for you generally with a sunny disposition there connected with workmates and things like that. Good for your health. Now looking at Jupiter for you, Jupiter is in the 7th house of your horoscope during this entire 2-month period. With Jupiter being in the 7th house of your horoscope during this 2-month period, Aquarius, it's a very good time for you for any sort of a joint venture. It's very favourable for you in your relationship with a spouse or partner. It's very good for travelling with them, and you could both travel overseas or something like that with that sort of influence around. And it's a very good time for you for strengthening existing relationships and having social activities going out there, mixing with the general public and so forth. It's very good for legal matters. If there's any need for any legal activity or anything like that, it's very good for that type of thing as well. Now also, Aquarius, Jupiter moves quite fast during this 2-month period. It moves from 13 degrees Leo to 21 degrees Leo. Now, if you've got any planets in that particular location of your horoscope, 13 degrees to 21 degrees Leo, then it means that Jupiter forms a conjunction with those planets in this next 2 months. And you want to know about that because a Jupiterian conjunction with a planet in your horoscope is a very beneficial time to take full advantage of it. And so if you do want to order your horoscope number 2 or 3 from me, well then I'll fill you in on the details of that and what's going on and what's coming up as far as that side of things are concerned, okay? Now I just want to finish up, Aquarius, by saying, look, I've got a particular video that I've just produced about 2.5 weeks ago that is proving to be the most popular video that I've ever produced. It's a personal growth video. I mean, my horoscope videos sometimes have 10,000 viewings and that sort of thing, so it's not one of those. This is the personal growth video, and it's called The Meaning of Your Dreams, and it's a very, very potent one. Now, you don't get thousands and thousands of people viewing a video like that because it's only for pioneers and map makers and those on the crest of the wave of evolution, Aquarius, like yourself. And if you watch that particular video, I'm sure that you will be inspired because there's more people have ticked the like box on that particular video than any other video that I've ever produced, and I only released it 2.5 weeks ago. And you go and watch that video. You'll be able to get to it by going to my website. The website address is always there in the description of all of my videos. And go to my website and go down to the YouTube videos page of my website, and down to the bottom of the list there of the videos that I've produced, you'll see the meaning of your dreams. Just click on that link there and immediately you start to watch that particular video, and you'll then see what's going on in your dreams is an incredible thing, and it gives you an understanding of the diagnostics that's going on from God, Goddess, all that is, and from your higher self during your dreams. It's an incredible video, and that's why so many people really like it, because everybody has dreams and everybody can relate to that type of thing. Now also I've got 2 books that I've released in audio format. There's What Really Matters, which is free 12 CDs with my voice containing all the contents of that particular book, and that's on astrology, meditation and reincarnation, and that's available from the free CD page of my website. And then there's my other book, Coming Home, An Eternal Journey, which is intensives 2 and 3, and they'll take you into spiritual university. So it's nice to have this opportunity, Aquarius, to be able to talk with you and to share the excitement that I have for the power and the talent that you have inside of yourself, and the wonder and the magnificence of what's going on in the world today, and to say, go and watch that video, be inspired, go through my intensives and become more of the giant Aquarius that you truly are. So I thank you for your attentiveness here and look forward to working further with you should you decide to have your horoscope done by me. Thank you.